Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving straight into the biggest and most talked about stories sweeping through the hip-hop and entertainment community. From shocking early record deal revelations that changed lives forever, to wild luxury, spending habits, crazy private performances, and raw perspectives on escaping poverty, we have a lot to unpack. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into the details of these major headlines. Let's kick things off with one of the most respected bosses in the entire music industry, Rick Ross. When people look at Rick Ross today, they see a mogul living an ultra-luxurious lifestyle. We are talking about massive estates, sprawling properties, luxury fleets of cars, private aviation, and an empire built under his Maybach music group banner. But every empire has to start somewhere, and recently, Ross opened up about the raw reality of his very early days in the business. Specifically, his first major record contract. Think about this for a second. Rick Ross revealed that his very first record deal paid him a total advance of just $30,000, and that single contract covered a massive commitment of 6 albums, while also taking half of his publishing rights. By today's standards, or even by the standards of a major artist breaking onto the scene with massive anticipation, $30,000 for 6 entire albums sounds completely absurd and borderline predatory. It is the kind of deal that historically trapped many artists, leaving them deep in debt to their labels, struggling to recoup costs, and wondering how they would ever survive. However, what makes Rick Ross's perspective so unique is his overall outlook on that situation. Despite the meager upfront payout and losing half of his publishing rights on those initial terms, Ross has publicly stated that he remains thankful for the opportunity. Why? Because he views it as the stepping stone that got his foot in the door. It was the vehicle that allowed him to build his brand, learn the ins and outs of the industry, and eventually position himself to generate hundreds of millions of dollars down the road. Ross often emphasizes playing the long game in the music business. Instead of complaining about how bad the initial paper was, he used the exposure to transform himself into an independent powerhouse, proving that where you start doesn't dictate where you finish if you know how to leverage your career later on. It is a powerful reminder of how much the music industry has evolved and why current artists look closely at contracts before signing away their future catalogs. Moving on from industry contracts, let's talk about viral culture, streamer life, and high-stakes luxury spending. Content creator and media personality Tylil recently shook up social media when he opened up about his personal life and shared the absolute most money he has ever dropped on a romantic partner. During a candid conversation that quickly made the rounds online, Tylil revealed that the highest amount he has ever spent on a woman sits at a staggering $2 million. To put that into perspective, that kind of money isn't just buying ordinary luxury gifts. It is getting into elite, multi-tier assets. Tylil detailed that part of that massive expenditure included buying a brand new gray Maybach truck for her. But what caught the internet's attention even more, and sparked plenty of hilarious reactions across comment sections, was his personal rule regarding family. Tylil made it clear that whenever he treats a partner to a high-end luxury gift, he makes sure that his mother receives the exact same standard of care and luxury. Fans online immediately began debating the dynamic, with some focusing on the jaw-dropping $2 million figure, while others praised the commitment to keeping family prioritized no matter how much wealth is accumulated. It gives a fascinating look into the lifestyle of modern digital creators who rise to immense wealth and navigate the fine line between personal relationships, public image, and family obligations. Speaking of extreme wealth and unexpected luxury transactions, let's transition into one of the most bizarre and fascinating stories told by global pop and R&B star Akon. Over the course of his legendary career, Akon has traveled the globe, performed in massive stadiums filled with tens of thousands of screaming fans, and racked up countless diamond-certified hits. But some of the most lucrative money an artist can make doesn't come from stadiums. It comes from private, ultra-exclusive booking for the world's richest individuals. Akon shared a jaw-dropping story about a private performance he was hired to do for a wealthy family located in the Middle East. The family wanted an exclusive, private concert, and they were willing to pay top dollar to make it happen. How much? Akon was paid a cool $1 million for a single private performance. For most artists, $1 million payday for a private gig sounds like an absolute dream come true. But there was a massive catch that made the experience entirely surreal. When Akon arrived at the venue, he discovered that the audience wasn't a massive crowd, a corporate convention, or even a private party full of guests. The entire private concert was attended by just 3 people. That is right, 3 total attendees. Among them was the daughter of the wealthy family, who had a very specific request for the global superstar. Instead of asking to hear a diverse set list of his biggest hits, deep cuts, or fan favorites, she had one single demand. She requested that Akon perform his smash emotional hit song, Lonely, over and over again, continuously, for the entire duration of the 1-hour set. Imagine standing on a private stage, looking out at just 3 people, and singing the exact same melancholy lyrics for 60 straight minutes while a billionaire's family watches up close. Akon openly reflected on the experience, noting that it made him feel almost like a medieval jester. It highlights the completely bizarre and surreal reality of the ultra-wealthy elite class, where enormous sums of money can buy completely eccentric personal experiences. While walking away with $1 million for an hour of work is an incredible financial win, the psychological toll of singing Lonely on loop to an audience of 3 people proves that money truly can't buy normal working conditions. It remains one of the wildest behind-the-scenes glimpses into the private wealth economy that regular fans rarely ever get to see. Shifting gears from private global gigs to the emotional and mental toll of escaping poverty, let's talk about rapper Rod Wave. Known for his deeply emotional storytelling, soulful voice, and raw transparency, Rod Wave has built a massive, fiercely loyal fanbase by pouring his real-life struggles into his music. Growing up dealing with hardship and poverty, Rod Wave eventually made it out of the hood and achieved massive commercial success, multi-platinum albums, and generational wealth. However, success often brings a new wave of online criticism and unrealistic expectations from the public. People often expect artists who make it out of poverty to constantly play the role of savior for everyone they left behind, or to feel a sense of guilt for abandoning the environments that nearly swallowed them whole. Recently, Rod Wave addressed these pressures directly and unapologetically. He made it crystal clear that he does not feel bad at all about making it out of the hood, and he harbors zero guilt about putting himself, his peace, and his family's future first. Rod Wave's comments struck a massive chord with millions of fans and listeners who understand the heavy mental burden of generational trauma. When an artist finally escapes a dangerous environment, the pressure to pull everyone else out with them can be overwhelming. Rod Wave's perspective emphasizes a vital truth. Self-preservation and prioritizing your own mental health and financial stability is not selfish. It is a necessity. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and securing your own survival and success is the ultimate victory after years of struggle. His willingness to speak so bluntly about these realities is precisely why his music resonates so deeply with people who have walked similar paths. When you look at all of these stories together, from Rick Ross signing away a massive chunk of his early publishing for a fraction of what he's worth today, to Tylil spending millions while taking care of home, to Akon performing a single song on loop for a cool $1 million, and Rod Wave setting firm boundaries about his escape from poverty, it paints a vivid picture of the music and entertainment industry today. It is a world driven by extreme highs, bizarre contradictions, tough business lessons, and deeply human stories. Thank you for tuning in to today's breakdown. Make sure to drop your thoughts on these stories in the comment section below. Let us know which of these moments shocked you the most. And as always, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest updates. We will catch you in the next one.